Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for Oh Yes, Honey, our very first episode. I am Tracie Collins.
And I am Jesse Reamer. We are so excited to be here with you talking about pleasure.
Yes, pleasure. So, Oh Yes, Honey derived from us just having organic conversation. And because we have such a long history, not only as friends, but also as women in wellness, working with women for a collective nearly 50 years between us, we see a lot of commonalities that we want to address on Oh Yes, Honey. So this gives us the space to talk about it, to be fun, informational, and educational at the same time. So I'm excited about today.
Well, I just have to say it's a pleasure that we dedicated time to each other because I was thinking the first pleasure I was having is like, oh my gosh, you're a date on my calendar every week now. So
Oh,
that's
that's
pleasure for
so,
me.
so true. It's a friend date. Oh, yes. And we get to talk about things that we love, which is vaginas.
Vaginas. And I think I was sharing with you, I was talking to your son about vaginas this morning because I have two of your kids here, of course, and just the opportunity to realize how that two of us, you and I, have surrounded ourselves literally with vaginas on the walls, vaginas in baskets. The I think what he described, your son was saying how it was like he's never met two people that were sex positive, and then how freeing that was for him. And I realized for me, that's the change in our culture is we can really find that place to bridge the gap so that we can have common conversation, whether it's between an auntie and a nephew, the 20-year-olds generation, or to even our children, and then mostly to ourselves. I feel like that's the conversation I'm thinking about today is how do we have this conversation with ourselves?
Yeah. So just to kind of give a little backstory, I live here in Mexico. I moved to Mexico almost 2 years ago, back in 2023. And two of my children live in Portland with or near Auntie Jessie. So
Which is
this
the kinkiest town in the US, apparently. We get some kind of award like that.
wait a minute, what kind of town?
It's the
Oh,
kinkiest town in the country. Maybe
come
not.
on, not
We've got
surprised.
one that says we're the, keep Portland weird, but the other one is apparently we're one of the kinkiest towns, though. Yet to
Oh.
be explored. I think I'd need to go on a road trip to really know that to be true.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about pleasure. And I think this is a great first topic of the episode of Oh Yes, Honey. Like, what does pleasure mean to you?
Boy, this is talking from the lens of being perimenopausal, menopausal on a very different journey because I feel like I'm in the complete redefinition of that. Like if you asked me a decade ago when I was turning 40, then pleasure meant the buffet. It meant like, oh my gosh, let me go external and have as many opportunities to take from the buffet and feast on the buffet, which was a lot of like other people's energies. And the thing I feel like I'm moving into now is just a really internal conversation, like becoming my own lover of myself and claiming that and really getting to know me in a deeper way. Yeah, I feel like this is so relevant to so many women, especially as we start to realize that our hormones are not the driver. Like, I don't know how it was for you. I mean, you got married in your 40s and the pleasure drivers that are there towards an external connection versus like, oh, when that's not there driving me, then I feel like I've now moved into a place of like deep inquiry. Like, oh,
Yeah.
every day I wake up, how am I going to bring pleasure?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I look at pleasure from a sensory aspect and I try to empower other women to do the same. I think we as women it's been normalized or we've been conditioned to receive things that are not pleasurable or to tolerate things or experiences that are not pleasurable for ourselves. But I have reclaimed that and I look at it from a sensory aspect, meaning if I'm listening to something, it needs to be pleasurable. If I'm seeing something, touching something, tasting something, it all needs to feel good. And if it doesn't, then I need to address that. And so what happens is it bleeds over into other aspects of my life to where I'm so hypersensitive to not feeling good now because I've trained myself to feel my body in a pleasurable way.
How do you think that's helped inform your decision making? Because you talked about this transformation of moving, and so tell me a little bit about that. I would love to hear you share that.
Oh my God, yeah. It's just being in a space of not feeling good and moving in a place of I need to do what works for me because I have to be healthy and happy while I'm here. And so I believe my environment should be a part of that experience to where if it is taking away from my peace, if it's not pleasurable, if I don't feel safe as a Black woman, if I don't feel seen, heard, and or protected as a Black woman, then I can't put myself in that situation because it's dangerous for me. So that was really the catalyst to begin to initiate the move for me to Mexico. And Mexico, it has embraced us with open arms, fortunately. So
Mm.
it feels good. It feels
It
good.
does feel good. I was just reminiscing of my 2 weeks there and how good it feels. And
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I was on vacation, which I did a little recent AI thing, and I asked it to roast me, and then it literally was like, "Oh, and you are going to turn your vacation into a retreat that you then market to other people and call it like rest and restoration."
Nice. I love that. I love that.
Yes.
But like normalizing rest, one of the things that you said too that I want to get into is the menopausal, perimenopausal space. That is a lot of conversation that's happening. I'm so glad women are talking about it. I am not there. Like I will be 50 this year, and I am not even perimenopause. I'm not having the signs that everyone is speaking about or the common signs, but I'm listening like a fly on the wall about what women are experiencing. So even for me, it's like I'm re-educating or I have to relearn myself, but also how am I setting myself up for the new me or the next level of who I'm going to be, but doing it with success. So like getting into my body more, moving my body more, recognizing the things that could be changing, but yeah, that conversation is happening and it's so loud now. And I'm so happy for everybody that's talking about it, known and unknown, like the conversations amongst women.
The thing I was reflecting on this morning with that piece of the conversation in mind was just to see how so much of our fertility years are dedicated to others. And, they've even done some studies. I was listening to another podcaster and they were talking about there's a study about like single childless women are like live the longest because then we have been trained to pour ourselves into relationship, and so at the cost of ourselves, and so it takes up that life force. And not that, I've spent 30 years, you've spent 30 years in that space where we've witnessed that. And then so how is that place for us in reclaiming, like I'm in a space right now where sometimes I don't even know what, like I'm learning like what does that mean to even have pleasure? Like
Mhm.
like I'm actually creating little recipes for myself. Like, oh, this 50 box of peaches and sitting under a tree is this recipe. Like I once did this and I ate like 50 peaches from Palisade, Colorado, which are the most
Wow.
incredible peaches in the world. And then we traveled over the mountains and I was like, this is one of my formulas for pleasure. So I started doing these pleasure recipes just so I could remember for myself, like you would, like, oh yeah, this is something I love. This is what my body's saying yes to.
The pleasure. It's like normal, everything that you touch, taste, feel, hear, it needs to be pleasurable. And so I think that's one of the driving forces that we want to really hone in on for you guys in the audience and who's listening is like, what are your pleasure recipes that you can create for yourself? Like that is a homework assignment. Like get into you, like be selfish. I love that I don't look at selfish like the way that we've been trained to be selfish. Selfish to me is like self-preservation. And this is a part of like preserving yourself. It's like, how can I please me?
Yes. That's where we came up with the name. Oh, yes, honey. Like,
Oh, oh, yes, honey. So Jesse and I are so glad that you guys are here. Please like this video. Please share this video. This is a new venture for both she and I. We will be here weekly dropping videos for you guys. Tell your friends about Oh Yes Honey. Drop in the comments what you guys want us to talk about, what you guys want us to cover. We're talking all things vagina, vaginas, vulvas, pussies, yonis, whatever you want to call them. Just make sure we give it the right name, but claim it as well and get in touch with yourself. Any closing words that you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, I want us to maybe have some accountability. We'd love to hear in the chat from folks, like name something that we're accountable for each other for each week since we're going to be doing this. So for me, one of the things I'm going to commit to, but this week is time in nature. So like every day, time in nature because it's one of my biggest pleasure activators.
Me too. Me too. But I'm actually going to steal your idea and I'm going to do pleasure recipes.
Yeah,
That's not food centric.
bring one back.
I will bring a pleasure recipe. That's gonna be good. What am I gonna focus on? Okay. So nature for you and creating a pleasure recipe for me.
Yes.
All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next week. And we want to hear from you. Did you create a pleasure recipe? What's your pleasure recipe? Are you gonna create a pleasure recipe with us and Oh Yes Honey?
Oh, I get the tingles just thinking about it. Like, yeah.
Thank you. And we will see you guys next week.